Hi everyone, thanks for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. All right, this is the video I'm posting before Halloween comes. So I'm on theme. I didn't do anything super Halloween this year. I'm upset. I don't want to talk about it. Halloween is my favorite time of the year. But if you are watching this before Halloween, you can head to my Instagram. I'm doing a fun little Halloween themed giveaway with the New York City plant shop called Living with Green. Cough cough if you watched my last video. I just wanted to give a very brief shout out to that is going on right now. Unfortunately, it's local to New York only. I'm so sorry. I will have one that's like at least national, hopefully sometime soon. I don't really have a super festive video today, but I do think it's a fun video. I have mentioned I recently moved to New York from Philly. With that change, I have roommates now. My roommates have some plants that I have not yet been able to share with all of you. I thought that we could go through and I'll talk about the plants that I now live with, but also some of them need a little bit of TLC. I got my roommate's permission to call them out and say what's what and give some extra help to the ones that need it. So I'm not being a huge mean plant person. I have permission. Yeah, we're just gonna go through. There's some cool plants in here and we're gonna kind of this is a houseplant makeover video, if you will. I think that's what I'm gonna coin it as. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, the first plant I want to talk about is this chlorophytum. I think this variety is called the fire flash, or for short, you can just call it the Mandarin plant because it's like mandarin orange here. Down the center, this is a type of spider plant, believe it or not. This little cutie, like, she's got flowers, which honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, might be why it's declining, because it just probably put a lot of energy into the flowers and the foliage took a back seat. You can see we have some crisping here. This leaf is a bit bent out of shape and we don't really have that many leaves left to play with, so it's a bit stressful, I would say. I'm gonna give it a very oh my god, come on, babe. I'm gonna give her a very thorough bottom water in her cache pot because there's no drainage hole. So I'm just gonna fill the bottom with a little bit of water with my liquider concentrate in it, which is a plant food if you are not familiar, and let her have a very thorough soak. And I'm also just gonna snip off the crisps. I like to snip it off, like, I wouldn't snip it off on the fresh new growth. I would snip it off right at the tip of the brown growth. Otherwise, it's just gonna re-crisp over. Let's get rid of this little flower stalk. I don't think she's helping anyone. It's cool though. I mean, it's all crisped up, but it is cool. Get rid of that. And then I'm gonna put a splash, just a splash of the liquider in here, and then I'm gonna put a bit more water in here. I put Brita water in here because it is a chlorophytum and they can be a little bit finicky. So I'm just gonna drop her in here. The key to this is I have to remember to drain out the excess water after like 10-20 minutes because I don't need her sitting in water. That's just gonna cause root rot. I just need a thorough enough soak to make sure that all of the soil got saturated with this nutritious water. That's the main, like, hardest part with plants that are sitting in like some compacted soil. Sometimes the water isn't getting all the way through to the root system, and then on top of that, soil this compacted usually means it's pretty old and therefore lacking nutrients. So we're just gonna give that a go and check back in with her in a bit. Plant number one, I really do love this variety. They can just be a little bit finicky, as we see here. Nothing too crazy, but we got a ZZ. And you know what? We love a little ZZ. This one is sitting in a plastic pot, in a nursery pot. Oh my god. Look at that. I wonder if they would mind if I just like completely repotted, because this plant is totally outgrown. its nursery pot. I don't want to be annoying, so I'm not going to do it, but what I'm going to do instead is, I think what this plant needs is definitely some fresh soil. So we have some debris up top in the pot, and I'm going to go ahead and remove that first because I think I'm just going to do a really solid top dressing on this plant. The roots are taking over. So the least we can do is add in a little bit of fresh soil. And my soil, not to brag, is really nice because before I left, I put in a ton of worm castings in it, which is what has the nutrients. It's just worm poop. So I'm gonna take a good old scoop and just top dress this plant a bit, introduce some nutrients back into the soil. Oh my god, this is so yum. Some of that. Just a little bit more here. Oh my god, I think that's so much better looking. There's actual like soil for the water to hold onto. Okay, and then we're definitely gonna prune this off. There's like another little bits of pruning I can do. Okay. The leaves on this also do feel thirsty to me, so I'm going to give her a bit of a water as well. We are treating all of the plants today with plant food. Today's a little spa day for the plants. Okay, with soil so compacted and old, I'm gonna give like a very slow water into the pot, otherwise it's just gonna drain right through and the roots aren't even gonna get any of that water. Like I said, in a perfect world, I would have liked to just entirely repot this plant. It's totally ready for a new home. I just don't wanna overstep with my roommate's plants, so I'm just gonna do it at my own pace. Last but not least, I'm going to give these plants a little bit of a wipe down. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's quite a bit dusty here from sitting by the window, probably. So I'll do that at the end there. I just made a mess. Uh-oh. Okay, next up, I want to talk about this guy. Hold on one second. This plant here is a bit newer to me. Through my new job taking care of plants, I'm a little bit more familiar with them now. Still pretty new to me. It's a Yuca plant. She's in this smaller pot. She could also absolutely, you can see the roots, use an upgrade in her pot, but I don't know what to do with that, so I'm not gonna touch it. But with these plants, they are desert plants to my understanding and are super drought tolerant, like don't need humidity, that whole thing. Can generally like thrive on neglect. However, this plant, if you look at the soil, is in very old, compacted, dry, deficient soil, I would say, that doesn't retain moisture super well. You can see that she's thirsty by like the curling of the leaves. These leaves are typically a bit more succulent feeling. They also, I will warn you, are so jagged on the edges. They can cut you up, they can poke your eye. So definitely be careful with these plants. They are not always adult friendly, not to mention kids and animals and all that. For this plant specifically, she's not doing all that bad. I think I'm gonna just prune these little leaves on the insides of the stems a bit, and I'm also going to give her a little bit of a top dressing and then again some liquid dirt water so that she has a little bit more nutrients introduced into her soil. And I think that she's just gonna continue to thrive until I can pot her or my roommate up-pots her or something like that. I love pruning. One thing about me, I want to get all these little like white dead leaves off so bad. Makeover day, makeover day. She could also, honestly, this is a plant that would benefit from bottom watering right now, but this pot does have a drainage hole and I'm worried about making a mess, so I am taking a few shortcuts here. Instead, I'm going to very lightly top dress because I do still want to have room for water, but I will add some soil up here with the worm castings, my favorite. Okay, if you're my roommate watching this, I moved the rug, so please don't hate me. I'm not getting worm poop on everything. Oh my god, delicious. Look how better that looks. Okay, we did that, and now I'm gonna do, again, a very slow water. These plants do not need a ton of water all the time, but this is a very dehydrated one, so I'm going to make sure to just really saturate that soil, and then I can like ease up a little bit moving forward. I could also just take this to the sink, but I'm lazy. Okay, there we go, we're getting water. Okay, back she goes. Oh. Next, we have a big plant. This plant is actually doing really well. I don't have much to say. It's an Aglaonema Silver Bay. I just think it's so cool. It's so big. It's awesome. It's constantly putting out new growth, like you can see here. I just like love that part so much. I don't have any complaints. I just think that this plant most of all can use a prune. There's a lot of little dead leaves hiding in here and some that are just on their way out. So I'm just gonna take care of those, honestly. But this guy, just feel the water, the soil. It's moist. Aglaonemas like moist. So I will not be doing anything crazy by any means. I'm gonna try to do it on camera, but she's a heavy one. Also, like, I feel like Aglaonema are constantly losing leaves. I don't really worry when I see them losing leaves. It's only like more so if they're not putting out new ones to replace those that I get a bit worried. Where are my scissors? I'm so low because I'm like hunched over trying to get to this guy. I also very much recommend using scissors on Aglaonemas. I'm definitely guilty of getting lazy and wanting to pluck leaves right out of the pot, just like this one, but a lot of the times they are not at this point, and with some genus and species, you can just go ahead and like clip them right off with your hands, but Aglaonema, you don't want to damage the stem, so I definitely recommend pruning with scissors. Also, a fun fact with Aglaonema, I like to cut off the flowers as they're growing. I don't see any happening in here, but ag flowers are pretty common. They look a bit different than the leaves when they're growing in. And let's see, I can chop this one. I personally like to cut them off because they really do suck some energy away from the main plant. I do notice a decline in my Aglaonema when I let the flowers get a little bit too much, like it's flower after flower after flower. Personally, in my Aglaonema care, that is something that I try to be mindful of. So you won't really see me with flowering Aglaonema. Okay, she's looking good. I love her. All right, what's next? What's next? What's next? I'm having so much fun. I love plant makeovers. Okay. Oh, we have another little baby ZZ, but this one's doing great. Honestly, I think that this one just needs a little wipe down as well. This is a very cute pot. Very perfect. Oh. Oh. Okay, we have this neon pothos. She is so cute, but you can see she has like no soil. I think that's like a big problem, I think, with most of these. She's doing fine, like she's putting out new growth and everything, but I think she would be a bit more content with more soil. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that into the pot just so she holds water a bit better. And it's honestly gonna be easier to water her as well. Okay, and you can see how much better that just looks off the rip, like now. And that'll go down a little bit. I didn't pat it down a bit, but there is still room to water her, which I will do. Go again, just very slowly and lightly on top of that new soil. I'll put it here for now. Last plant I want to talk about is this rubber tree. It is stunning. It's doing great. It does not need my assistance at all, minus that. It's doing fine. I honestly like have nothing to say about it. I think I'm gonna water her a tiny bit. You can see like she's a bit dehydrated with the curling, so I think she does need a thorough water. But I think the main thing that's gonna transform this plant today is giving her a nice clean, like my girl's a little bit dusty. So we're gonna take care of that today. Okay, the solution that I'm using today has a little bit of pesticide in it, or not neem oil in it, and then just like a hint of dish soap to kind of like break it up and make it smell less disgusting. And then to clean your plants, you're just gonna spray the foliage away. Get crazy with it if you want. Check, 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 check. And then I like to go in with a microfiber towel. I hate the feeling of microfiber, but like it is what it is. It's truly one of the best things to use to clean your plants because it's so gentle. And I can like scrub like this and it doesn't harm the plant. It just picks up all the dirt. That's what I'm going to be doing now. Oops, sorry baby. Just gonna scrub, 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 scrub. And she's gonna look so good after. This is gonna take forever, so honestly I'm gonna cut the cameras. But like literally I cleaned like 3 leaves. So. Okay, we finished houseplant makeover day. The plants are looking awesome. They are glistening with the little wipe down that some of them very much needed. I also remembered to empty out the cash pose, so no roots are sitting in water. We are all good there. Yeah, hopefully, you know, the thirsty ones perk up a little bit and the fresh nutrients encourage some more growth. Of course, we are entering into like fall, winter, so I'm not setting crazy high expectations, but it would be really cool if they just shot out a little bit more growth before the end of the year. I'm happy. I haven't had a chance to really connect with these plants yet. I encounter them every day, but they aren't really mine, so I just never really like got to know them. But I'm really happy I got to have a day with them and kind of see what they need and see how I can help in the future. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, follow, whatever, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!